Why is my resume not getting picked up? When I do get interviews, why are they for roles that aren't really the right fit for me? And how do I make my experience sound data relevant, even if I don't have data analyst as the title? You've built dashboards, you've worked in reports, and you've worked with data, so you're not starting from zero. But the market keeps passing you up because you sound like an entry-level candidate without translating your experience to the right data language. So in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you how to go from getting ghosted to getting data interviews with 3 simple steps. First, we're going to learn how to sound like the role that you're applying to without inflating your experience or doing anything shady. Second, we're going to learn the 3D bullet framework to translate your experience to data relevance. And third, we're going to learn how to save hours every single week by starting with a strong data story. Now, I first want you to understand 3 hiring manager principles that can fix these challenges for almost anyone who has data adjacent experience. The first principle is that you need to sound like the role that you're applying to. Today's job market is very competitive. It does mean that hiring managers are looking for proof that you can do the job, not just that you're a fast learner. Principle number 2 is that you need to have bullets that show the impact that you can bring, not just the tools that you use. And the last principle is that you need to have clarity around what kind of data role you're actually applying to. This enables you to build a strong base foundation and tailor it for your ideal roles instead of spending 45 minutes on every single application. So let's dive into each of these principles one by one. The reality of resume screening is that recruiters and hiring managers, they're really not reading your resume like a novel. They're skimming it and spending about 6 seconds trying to answer one key question, which is this person a fit for what we're hiring for? So I want you to picture this. Let's say a hiring manager is looking for someone with 2+ years of data relevant experience. And you have that, you've been in reports and dashboards, but when they see your resume, they see titles like operations coordinator, account manager, or program coordinator. Now, these aren't bad job titles, but they don't show a lot of data relevance. So the person who's reading your resume has to do a lot of extra work to connect the dots. So this is where you're going to translate your role titles. And the rule of thumb is that if you have 20 or 30% more of your role involve data, analysis, reporting, metrics tracking, or any kind of technical tool, then you should add data keywords to your title. And the keywords that we're trying to target are usually words like analyst, technical, data, insights, or reporting. But you do need to make sure that you can pass what I call the interview test. So can you give a hiring manager 2 to 3 specific examples of analytical work that you did in this role? If yes, then you should translate your job title, but if no, then you should just keep it the same. So here are some examples of this. If your title was marketing associate and you were looking at campaign metrics, reporting, data tools, then you want to translate it to something like marketing analyst. If your title was client success manager and you were tracking client KPIs, you were building reports, you were looking at retention data, then you can translate it to something like client success manager and analyst. And lastly, if you have something like project manager on your resume, but you were looking at technical backlogs, data-driven prioritization, then you can add technical and translate it to technical project manager. So none of these are really wild leaps, but if a full title sweep feels like too much of a jump for you, you can also do an in-between version. So for example, operations coordinator, you can say operations coordinator and process analytics, or customer support lead, you can say something like customer support lead and KPI monitoring. So again, this is just pulling some of the more analytical aspects of your role to the surface so someone can easily see it when they're skimming. If you want my direct personal help doing this, building your base resume, finding clarity on what kind of roles to target, and translating your experience to data language, then check out my mentorship program down below. We've just opened spots for the next cohort. But once you're actually on the phone with them or in the room with them, your actual experience has to hold up to the story that your title is telling. So don't translate a title that you cannot actually back up. That is the fastest way to get caught in the interview and then lose credibility. Now, you're not inflating your title or trying to claim more years of experience than you have. You're helping someone who's skimming your profile easily recognize you in just a few seconds. This transforms how a hiring manager perceives your career trajectory before they've even gotten to the bullets. And that's what we're gonna talk about next. So getting your bullets right usually doubles or triples the interview to resume conversion rate. So if you've been applying with a very few interviews or you feel underconfident about whether your resume stands out, make sure your bullets follow this 3D framework. The first dimension is the actual impact. So what changed because of your work? Can you quantify things like the hours saved, the errors caught, or even something more qualitative, like better visibility into some key metrics? The second dimension is tools and data. So what did you actually use? SQL, Excel, Power BI, Tableau, Python, and what kind of analysis did that involve? This is the technical proof, but notice that it comes second, not first. And the third dimension is the team. So who did this work actually support and what decision did it enable for them? These 3 dimensions ensure that the bullet is not only data relevant, but that it's unique to you so that we can start to see how your domain knowledge and your stakeholder experience starts to shine, which is what sets you apart from all the other generic analysts who just just claim that they use these tools to surface actionable insights. So the formula for a 3D bullet is delivered impact by using tools and data to enable these teams and stakeholders in this decision or cadence. I'm going to show you some examples of this in a bit, but I know some of you guys are probably thinking, Christine, I don't actually have any quantified impact that I can show. I didn't help increase revenue by $1 million. That's totally fine. There are so many different ways of quantifying impact or quantifying scope. So that can be things like business impact, for example, estimated dollar amounts, conversion rates, time reduced, or growth rates. So these are kind of the best bucket of quantified impact to show. And the rule of thumb here is that it can be a back of envelope calculation. As long as you can explain your reasoning in an interview, then you're good. The next level is the scale or the scope of the work. So something like including the dataset size, the number of reports created, the number of clients served, the number of meetings that you were leading. Or if you cannot come up with that kind of quantified impact, you can also include qualitative impact. So that could be things like improving team alignment, enabling visibility into new metrics, or strengthening client relationships. This is the actual so what of the work that you were doing, and this is how you should start your bullets off instead of starting with the tools that you used. So let's look at a few examples of this. This example is actually from a student's resume who just landed a job as an inventory analyst at Sunoco, and she was transitioning from a background in accounting. So before, her resume sounded like discover data anomalies and errors using Excel and SQL. Now, how many other analysts can say the same exact thing? The after version of her bullet sounded like this: accelerated year-end sign-offs by surfacing data anomalies through variance analysis using Excel and SQL, communicating findings to accounting team for resolution. So we have the impact, making a sign-off process faster. We have the approach and the tool, so Excel and SQL doing variance analysis, and we have the team, so the accounting team. This next example sounds like this: create dashboards in Tableau to surface actionable insights to the sales team. The after version sounds like this: enabled a 15% faster deal review process by building Tableau dashboards that surface sales metrics like close won and close loss rates to sales team in weekly performance reviews. So again, we have the impact, so enabling a faster deal review process. Then we have the tool and the approach, so Tableau dashboards. As you can see, delivering the output is not the impact in itself. It is what happened from that deliverable that actually matters. When your bullets are strong, you can send out a handful of targeted applications and feel confident that you will start to land some interviews. This is exactly what changed for my student Danielle. She landed a job offer just months later after translating her resume to 3D bullets, and this job offer actually doubled her salary, and she officially transitioned from a technical billing team lead to a reliability data analyst at JLL. So now let's talk about how we can save hours every single week. If you are heavily tailoring every single resume or rewriting it from scratch from every job, every application can take like 30 minutes to an entire hour, and you're probably gonna feel extremely exhausted and burnt out by the end of it. So this is what you should do instead. Use a 2-layer system, where the first layer is where you have your base resume. This is your strongest version of your resume. This is where you have the most data relevant bullets, your most analytical projects, the highest level stakeholders that you've worked with, and the projects that you're most proud of owning. Then when you have this base resume, you're going to use it like a buffet. So you're basically going to go in there and pick and edit those specific bullets to tailor each resume and application to the job description. Now, these are small edits that should just take like 15 to 20 minutes instead of an entire rewrite. So let's talk about how to actually do this tailoring. There's 4 elements that you want to keep in mind. The first is keyword mirroring. So this is where you want to open the job description, highlight 5 to 7 domain-specific phrases that repeat. So KPI reporting, forecasting, process improvement, or marketing performance, for example. Wherever you see these, use these keywords in your resume wherever you can do that translation and you have some overlap. The second is bullet prioritization. So you want to reorder your existing bullets so that based on these keywords, the most relevant ones are at the top of every single role. And you're not necessarily rewriting every single bullet, you're just resequencing what you already have. Then we're also going to do requirement matching. So if a specific tool or skill shows up and you have a bullet that actually demonstrates it, then make sure that that bullet is near the top of that role. Lastly, tool checking. So if a tool is listed in the top 3 requirements and you've actually never really touched that tool, it probably means that that job isn't a target job for you right now, and it's likely not worth the time to apply if your goal right now is just to get in some interviews. And I always say that for the first 50 applications, your goal is to land at least a 5 to 8% resume to interview conversion rate. So you're not inflating your experience, but wherever possible, you are matching the prioritization of their requirements and also reflecting their vocabulary. Now, the thing is, this only works if you have clarity on the 1 to 2 types of analyst roles or industries that you're actually applying to. So your base resume needs to to have a really strong foundation that can be applied to those other positions. If you're applying to like more than 5 or 7 different industries and titles, you likely are not going to be a strong fit for those roles no matter how much tailoring you do. So make sure that you have clarity on your target role and your industries before you actually start applying. So here's what I want you to do today. Download my resume template down below, start to do the role translation, focusing on those keywords that we mentioned before, and use the 3D framework to translate your experience to data relevance. If you found this video helpful, make sure to subscribe and check out my next one here. See you there.